Welcome back to another episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. The playoffs have finally started. Let's get into our wild card round preview. Welcome back to another episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. I'm Alex, Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And the playoffs have officially started. We've made it.
We are currently 6 innings behind the playoff
start. We are a bit behind because we haven't been in the same place, so we haven't been able to do this preview because the final bracket didn't come out till middle of the week, and we couldn't film in the middle of the week. So, although this game may be in the bottom of the sixth inning, Ahmed Rosario just got a hit, and the second game starts in half an hour. We're gonna pretend like it didn't, and we're gonna do a wild card preview. So, first of all, how excited are you for the postseason?
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, just this weekend in general, I'm probably at a good, 5 trillion. Playoff baseball is my favorite thing on the planet Earth. That's not another human being. So, I'm going to just tell you right now that I could not be more excited. And it's very hard to sit here and have to look at this camera when I just want to tilt my head this way to watch the game.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. I've been waiting all year for this.
Amen.
It's fun to watch, I'll tell you already. Just this game has been extremely fun. I'm extremely excited. And let's get into the previews. We'll start with the first matchup, the Guardians and the Rays. The Guardians are the 3 seed. They won the AL Central. And the Rays are the 6th seed. They are the 3rd seed in the American League wildcard.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Jose Ramirez gives a shot out to right center, and it's gone. 2-1 Guardians. There it is.
Live reaction on the pod.
But yeah, Jose Ramirez just homered. I think this is going to be a good matchup.
Agreed.
2 very good teams. The Guardians are the youngest team in baseball with an average age around 26. And the Rays are probably the most pesky team in baseball. I feel like that's fair to say.
Pesky. They somehow always figure out a way to get there. And when they get there, I mean, we've seen them make the World Series. We've seen them lose in the first round. So it's all kind of up in the air with the Rays. And the Guardians are what people have been calling the dream team. They're kind of just happy to be there. But honestly, I'm just going to jump right into it. I think the Guardians win this series.
Okay, wow.
I think the Guardians win this series in 3 games.
Right, wow, so we're not previewing it first. Okay.
No.
I'd rather preview it first.
All right.
But that's fine.
Then you preview your pick. How about that?
Well. Okay. Well, so the Guardians, like I said this last episode too, I've been really fascinated with them the last couple weeks because just looking at their team, it's they are really the underdogs. And I am, it's hard not to root for them because they have all these young guys. And exciting guys. I mean, Jimenez has been really good this season. He batted .300 in the regular season. Jose Ramirez obviously has been there for so long, and he's a guy that you love to root for. You got Stephen Barry Bonds Kwan.
Of course.
It's a very good matchup on both sides of the ball because while I do feel that the Guardians I do feel that the Guardians lineup is better than the Rays, significantly better than the Rays. I think that the pitching is fairly close because the Rays do have very good pitching, and now they have Glasnow back, so who I believe is starting tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he is.
Saturday. Yeah, Glasnow is starting tomorrow. He had one start this season, or 2 starts maybe, but he barely threw any pitches. But still, I mean, the Rays pitching. Let's get to the Rays. They have Glasnow now. They have Yarborough, who didn't have his best year. Oh, or is Yarborough injured? Yarborough's injured. Okay, so they have Shane McClanahan, obviously, who's started game 1 for them already. He's been very good up to this point. Then you got Corey Kluber, who's been good for them. I don't know if he's supposed to start a game 3 potentially. I'm not sure.
I could see that.
They got Drew Rasmussen, who's been very good this season. I mean, he's started 28 games and got a 2.84 ERA. Jeffrey Springs. I think their pitching is very strong, and it always has been the past few years. And I think it can hold down the Guardians lineup, as we've already started to see. Although objectively, the Rays lineup is, I'd argue, probably the worst in the playoffs.
Bold.
Either
Bold
the
to say
Rays
that.
or maybe the Mariners have the worst lineup in the playoffs. But I'd say it's probably the Rays. I mean,
Alright.
a Rosarena. Okay, yeah, he had a good playoff 2020. G-Man Choi.
No,
Jose Siri, who hit a home run in this game, but
I mean, Wander
they got
coming back
Betancourt,
off the
Wander.
injury.
Brandon Lau. Is Brandon Lau even playing?
I don't think so.
I actually don't know.
I don't know. The Rays, they're an interesting case, as are the Guardians. I think that this is one of the better series in the wild card. It's not too much like etched in stone of who can win every inning of every game. It's exciting, and I think that the thing to look forward to the most, like you just mentioned, is the pitching from both sides.
Yeah, no, it's mostly with every playoff team. I mean, you make it a lot because of the pitching. So the pitching matchups, of course, are going to be the things to look for. I mean, when you look at all the game ones today, you had McClanahan versus Bieber, the battle of the Shanes. You got in Phillies Cardinals, you got Zach Wheeler, Jose Quintana, Castillo, Manoah, Darvish, Scherzer. I mean, it's just the pitching matchups are what you look forward to.
Oh yeah.
And while not every team in the playoffs might have the best bullpen, the starting pitching is usually something that every playoff team has good.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, and go ahead. When Alex and I were together before hitting the record button, Alex had mentioned that every pitcher that's starting game 1 has an under 3 ERA except for one, which is Yu Darvish, who has a 3.01 ERA.
3.10.
A 1-0, my apologies. And that, if that does not show you how much starting pitching matters in making it to the next round of, like, from regular season to playoffs, then I don't know what does. Because you can say, oh, you need to score runs, oh, you need a good back of the bullpen and everything like that. That doesn't matter. You know, getting 7 innings out of your starter, 6 innings out of your starter with, 1 run, maybe 2, is more than enough to help project your team on a better path to victory.
Yeah. In relation to this series, though, the Rays lineup is good objectively. I think they can be shut down on any given day. They have a lot of guys that bat for high average or higher average. But then they got some guys like Taylor Walls, who's like their starting shortstop before Wander came back was batting like 172. So, like, you know, I think overall this matchup, their pitching is very similar. I think the Guardians might have the edge in the pitching because of their bullpen. They have a very good bullpen. So I'm going to give the Guardians this series, and I think they're going to do it in 2. I think they're going to do it tomorrow.
They're going to sweep?
I mean, they got Tristan McKenzie going, who feels like on any day of the week can pitch 8 shutout, no-hit innings. So
very much looking forward to watching.
I'm giving the Guardians this one in 2, and they're going to move on to face the Yankees in the ALDS.
All right.
Which is going to be a fun series too. Even if it's the Rays, Yankees, Guardians, Yankees, both series are going to be fun.
Agreed. I mean, I already spoiled my pick earlier. I'm going with the Guardians. I think they're going to take it in 3, though. I think it's going to come down to a final game, and that's when we're going to see maybe the best baseball we'll see all postseason, is these 2 teams fighting it out with their third starters going each way. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And, I mean, if the Guardians take it in 2, I'm just as okay. If the Rays want to take it in 2 or 3, I'm just, like, this series, I feel like, whatever I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to be honest, I'd rather see the Guardians in the next round of the playoffs. Like, I kind of care. I really don't want to see the Rays anymore. I'm kind of sick of them. I mean, I just don't like... my opinion, I don't find them too interesting to watch play baseball. And it's the same with another team in the playoffs that we'll get to. But I just don't quite enjoy watching the Rays play baseball. Nothing against them, but I feel like the Guardians are a more exciting, entertaining team than the Rays.
All right.
All around, too. I mean, their bullpen is just insane. I mean, Emmanuel Clase, obviously, shutdown reliever. Best reliever in baseball, arguably. James Karinchak, Trevor Stefan.
James the Flow Karinchak.
All these guys are so young. It's
I
so
know.
crazy. Emmanuel Clase is only 24 years old. That is bizarre. He's been in the majors for just over a year.
And I hope that every team in baseball looks at what the Guardians are doing right now with such a young team and realizes, hey, maybe we should call up our younger prospects because then we can get them when they're younger and more out of them rather than doing what the Yankees did to Judge and waiting until he was almost 26 years old to call him up.
Yeah. Another thing with the Rays, you look at their lineup has so much diversity. They have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have four guys on their team who are switch hitters, and they have 1, 2, 3 guys that are 4 guys that are lefties. So like they could put a lot of diversity in their lineup. So while like I said they might have the worst lineup in the playoffs, I do think that they in the form of matchups against each pitcher, they can certainly make harder matchups for pitchers.
Well, I believe that's exactly how the Rays have always worked. They're very much, they play by the stat sheet. They play the analytics of it, and part of that is having these guys that they can make different lineups with that would benefit them the most against each starting pitcher.
Yeah, I mean today their lineup was righty, switch hitter, righty, lefty, righty, righty, and then righty. But going against Bieber, they could throw out a lot of different guys.
And
is
they
what
can
I'm trying to
platoon
say.
guys too.
They can platoon guys. They have depth in some way. And like I said, they've just been a team who it always feels like they can get you.
Oh yeah.
You know
they can tag one off you real quick and you won't even know what hit you, type of thing.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Okay, let's move on to the next series. So we're both in agreement that the Guardians win?
I say yes, but I say in 2, you say in 3.
There you go. All right, next series is the Blue Jays are hosting the 21-year drought Mariners, who just broke their drought of 21 years of the playoffs for a 3-game set in Toronto. I believe Manoah and Castillo are going game 1, and I guess Gausman and Ray would go game 2.
Yeah, I believe that's already scheduled. They haven't announced Gausman yet, but I would assume that Gausman is going to pitch, because why wouldn't he?
Yep. These teams could not be any more similar, in my mind.
Similar?
Yeah. They are both teams that have the 1-2 big power hitters, Teoscar Hernandez and Vladdy Jr., and you have Eugenio Suarez and Julio Rodriguez on the other side of the ball, and their pitching staffs both are top-heavy when it comes to starting pitching, and then when you get to that bullpen, it kind of is like lackluster. You don't really know what's coming up next, and I think that this is anyone's series.
I agree with most of what you just said, except for the bullpen part. I think maybe for the Blue Jays, their bullpen's a little lackluster, and it's kind of iffy on any given day. I don't know if that's really the case for the Mariners. I think their bullpen is better than the Blue Jays bullpen. In my opinion,
I agree with you that it's better, but I don't think that it's miles above any other team's bullpen. Like they are kind of. I think they're both if you had to rank all the bullpens, they're sitting at 14 and 15 or 15 and 16. They're just perfectly mediocre.
And then, other side of the pitching, starting pitching wise, I'd argue that I think the Mariners have better. What's the word I'm looking for here? They can rely more on their starting pitching.
They have more proven guys.
I wouldn't even say proven. I mean, because the Blue Jays definitely have proven guys. I mean, Jose Barrios is proven. Yusei Kikuchi's proven. It's more about can they rely on their starters every time they go out. And from a Blue Jays perspective, every time you can't rely on Jose Barrios every time he takes the mound.
No.
You can't rely on Yusei Kikuchi every time he takes the mound. I think that it's going to be Manoah, obviously. They won't have to worry about it for this round, but should they get past this round, because they have Manoah going today, Gossman more than likely tomorrow, and probably Ross Stripling game 2. Game 3. I don't think that they would be comfortable throwing out Yusei Kikuchi or Jose Barrios against the Mariners.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
But should they make it past this round, it might become an issue with Yusei Kikuchi and Jose Barrios, because every time they go on the mound, it feels like
they're guaranteed
we might lose this. Game. Not guaranteed, but it's either they pitch very well or like,
there's
not
no
bad
middle of the road.
Very bad.
There's no middle of the road. They'll either give up their exact ERA number, or they'll go like 5 shutout innings or like 5 2-hit innings type of thing. And, in the playoffs, you can't risk going down early.
Well, I don't think their highs are that high. Like, I don't think that they would give up. Like, Yusei Kikuchi.
I said Kikuchi.
Oh, maybe they've moved have they moved to the bullpen? Could that be right?
Probably.
Games?
Because it's just a wild card round.
No, not for the wild card round. I mean in general.
Oh, that I don't know.
They've moved him to the bullpen. I didn't even know that. Because I'm looking at his game log and I'm like, okay, wow, yeah, he's only pitched like 1 inning, 2 innings, 3 innings the last however many outings, but he's been decent the last few outings. I mean, when he comes out of the bullpen, so maybe
that makes him more comfortable.
Yeah, maybe that's what he needed. Then in that case, Barrios is the guy who's a little iffy in that rotation. But you don't have to worry about him for this round.
Yeah, you don't need to concern yourself with the Barrios question mark this round, but then again, if the Blue Jays do make it past this round, then you have to really kind of worry and think about what you want to do, especially if you're going to go out and face one of the best hitting teams in baseball, in the Astros. So you have to game plan accordingly, Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think what was I going to say? Yeah, game plan accordingly. Yeah, and then you look at the Mariners pitching staff. I said their bullpen is better. I don't think it's as close as you're making it out to be. I mean, Paul Sewald has been good. They have Castillo, who's also 3.64 ERA is highest, but Matt Brosh. I think they have a very good bullpen.
Yeah, so, I think they both have good bullpens for this round. I don't think that it will
go up
any further.
Yeah, but I think you're making it seem like they're a lot close. I think the Blue Jays bullpen is a lot more unreliable than the Mariners bullpen from what we've seen.
All right, that's fair. I can see that. I can see that.
I don't know. It depends. It also depends on the opponent, to be honest. It depends on how the other team fares against first time through the order, second time through the order. Yeah. And then should we talk about lineups? What could a Game 1 lineup for the Blue Jays look like?
Do you want to tell you it?
Tell me their lineup. Let's see how accurate
So the lineup is...
The lineup is out.
Yes.
So here, guess the lineup. I won't look at the Mariners lineup. I'll try to guess the Mariners lineup. You guess the Blue Jays lineup for Game 1.
Oh, well, I'm staring at it.
So what do you...
I told you that they were out.
What's their lineup look like?
So leading
off...
No
more guessing.
And
taking away the fun.
Leading off and playing center field is George Springer. In the 2-hole, Bo Bichette playing short. Vladdy Jr. at third. Alejandro the
first.
Bowling ball.
Vladdy at first. Vladdy at
catcher.
First.
Yeah.
Vladdy at first. You said third.
Okay. Oh, my fault. Teoscar Hernandez batting fifth and playing right field. Matt Chapman playing third base and batting sixth. Raimel Tapia playing left field and batting seventh. In the 8-hole, Danny Jansen is DHing, and batting 9 is Whit Merrifield playing second base, who...
Good thing you can play in Toronto.
Yeah.
Although, I guess now it doesn't matter.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Also...
Yeah, it's a very, very Blue Jays lineup. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of the lineup they've been throwing out most of the time. Matt Chapman, he's actually been pretty good for this team.
Yeah,
it was kind of criticized. It was kind of really criticized early in the season, and I know he batted .229, which isn't great, but a 757 OPS is pretty good for batting 229.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I'll take that any day of the week. They have so many good guys in their lineup. They have in this starting lineup today. They have George Springer's batting 814, so that's 1 over 800. Bo Bichette,
OPS.
yeah, 800 OPS. Vladdy, 800 OPS. Alejandro Kirk, 786, close. That's pretty fairly close. Teoscar Hernandez, 807 OPS. Matt Chapman, 757, like I said. Raimel Tapia, not a great OPS, but he is a good just guy to have in the lineup. Speed.
Oh, yeah. His defense is.
I believe he's the only lefty in this lineup. Yeah, that was the issue. That was their issue coming into the season. They didn't have any diversity in the lineup. They just had righties, and Raimel Tapia has been a good breakup, I guess.
Yes. Although he was batting 7th.
Yeah, but still. You look at the Mariners lineup, and they have a lot of different righties and lefties.
Go ahead and tell me the lineup.
All right, so we got Julio Rodriguez batting first, playing center field. Ty France batting second, playing first base. Eugenio Suarez playing third base, batting third. Cal Raleigh batting fourth, catching. Mitch Haniger batting fifth, playing right field. Carlos Santana, Jared Kelenic, Adam Frazier, and J.P. Crawford. I'm going to be honest. I forgot Adam Frazier was even on this team. Is that bad of me?
Kind of. You know what I need you to I need you to tell me the stats.
He batted 238.
The hitting stats on J.P. Crawford, the 9-hole hitter for the Mariners in today's lineup.
What do you want to know?
I want to know.
He's got a 675
OPS.
OPS plus 100.
100?
It's exactly league average.
Nice.
It makes sense that he's batting ninth.
It does.
I love Julio Rodriguez leading off. It gives me an Aaron Judge leadoff kind of vibe.
Dude, I wish that this game was in Seattle because Julio, imagine bottom of the first, like with that crowd behind Julio as he steps into the box, the rookie of the year, the $440-something million man. Like, everything about it just sounds so perfect, and I think that this series is, like, exciting. This is a very exciting series, and funny enough, the Mariners lineup is almost polar opposite of the Blue Jays, whereas the Blue Jays only have one batter that's not right-handed. The Seattle Mariners are trotting out only 4 righties in their lineup to 5 lefties and switch hitters, which is impressive.
Yeah,
and
that's what I said. They got diversity, although they don't split it up very well. I mean, they got all 3 lefties at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah.
3 righties to start off. But I do like their lineup.
Yeah, but all the righties in their lineup have earned their spot of where they will be, like where in the lineup. I mean, Jared Kelenic, Adam Frazier, and J.P. Crawford have all not performed the best in the regular season, and now you're going into the playoffs. You don't really want to break up that top 3 of J-Rod, Ty France, and Eugenio Suarez, who they're able to do it. We watched it all season. They're able to hit the baseball.
Okay. Yeah, and as far as lineup depth goes for the Mariners, as I lose the page, they do have guys off the bench. I mean, they have Dylan Moore, off the top of my head, Dylan Moore. They have Abraham Toro, Abraham Toro's not been good, but he's still a bat off the bench. Dylan Moore, not a big average guy, but his OPS is still 750, so that's good. Obviously, Kelenic is not their preferred choice. They are missing a very big part of their lineup in Jesse Winker, who I hope he would be back for the division series should they make it, because they do not want to have Jared Kelenic in there. They want to have Jesse Winker in there, ideally. Although if Jared Kelenic plays good, I mean, I'm sure they won't complain about it. Luis Torrens, obviously, catcher. Behind Cal Raleigh. They're catchers. Taylor Trammell, Kirk Casale, another catcher. They have guys on the bench, is what I'm trying to say, that makes it a deep lineup.
Yeah.
Although I will say that the Blue Jays, I do think, have more depth on their bench.
All right.
I think this is going to be a fun series.
This is going to be a very fun series. I think
it's a tough choice for me, too.
I think you're going to see more people rally behind the Mariners, and are we giving our picks now?
Go for it.
And if we're going to be honest, I am also rallying behind the Mariners. I think the Mariners take this in 3 games. And I don't know if this is just me being hopeful to see exciting baseball in the first round in predicting like two series to go 3 games already. But I think the Mariners take this in 3, and we're going to see some of the best playoff baseball in Seattle Mariners history this weekend.
So you have 2-1 Mariners?
2-1 Mariners.
All right. I mean, I like the pick. It's very hard for I'm finding this very hard to make a prediction on this because both lineups are very good. Both pitching staffs are very good. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go Blue Jays in 3.
All right.
It pains me to say that, but I don't know. No. I came in saying Mariners, and I just changed my mind.
From America's team.
I just changed my mind like a few minutes ago that I was going to pick the Blue Jays because I think their lineup is maybe just I think their lineup is better, and I think their pitching can get it done because it's not too far apart from the Mariners. Their starting pitching that they're going to be throwing out this series is probably better. Yeah, I'm picking the Blue Jays in 3.
Okay,
yeah, I just convinced myself again.
Okay, fair enough. That's exciting. So we both have the series going 3 games, and if it does go down to a game 3, I mean, that's exciting.
Yeah, I would say I want to see as many game 3s as possible, but like in the wild card round,
I don't expect it as much.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy for a team to lose 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And the winner of this series goes on to play the number 1 seed, best team in the American League, Houston Astros, which has got to be a little scary.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck is right, but I think the Blue Jays, should they win the series, could have a decent chance. But we'll get to that if it happens in the Division Series preview.
Fair. I'm sticking with my pick of Mariners in 3 games.
Yeah, that's fine. I worry about the Mariners after the series, should they win. I would worry more about the Mariners, is what I'm trying to say.
I could see that, especially because it's a division opponent, so you had plenty of script.
How have the Mariners fared against the... I feel like... I'm actually... How have the Mariners played against the Blue Jays this season?
Well, they played, 6 games against each other? So...
Where'd you get that number from?
Well, because they're same league, different division. It's either 6 or 7 games that they played against each other.
Blue Jays. Toronto. So they played 7 games, 5-2 against the Blue Jays this season.
Okay.
And against the Astros.
Well, it only takes 2 losses.
Against the Astros, they are 7-12. So, not great. Let's see what the Blue Jays are against the Astros. Just looking on to the next round really quick.
You're doing
should it happen?
Divisional series preview.
I'm not. I'm just looking on to the next round. Against the Astros, the Blue Jays are 4-2. So that's all I'm saying. Someone's got to take down the big bad Astros, or will they? Yeah. So that's the American League. That's the American League wildcard preview. The game is going on right now, as we speak. It is 2-1. Guardians over the Rays in the top of the 8th inning, which you could say our picks were based on that. They weren't at all. The Guardians were actually down when we started filming. So,
true.
All right, yeah, let's move on to the National League. The first series we got is starting any second now. It is Cardinals, Phillies.
Whew, what a series.
The Phillies have had the Cardinals number this season. They won the season series. Although all the games have been very close. The Phillies have I'd argue, the streakiest team in baseball. That might be a fact. I don't know.
I would get behind you on that.
I'm fairly certain they're the streakiest team in baseball. What do you think?
So this series is the most interesting to me because on one side you have the Cardinals, who not only do they have their last ride guys in Pujols, Molina, and maybe even Wainwright, they also have the National League MVP in Paul Goldschmidt, and maybe finishing top 5 is Nolan Arenado, who for the 7th time in his career put up 30 homers and 100 RBIs. I mean, this team, the Cardinals have a lot going for them. They have the starting pitching to compete with anybody. And they have a good lineup with Pujols, who has caught fire and has been the second best hitter since the All-Star break in all of baseball. Whereas on the other side, with the Phillies, like you just had mentioned, they are the streakiest team in baseball, in my opinion. But
Keep going.
But they did get back their DH, Bryce Harper. He is back. He looks healthy, so that's obviously going to be a big hurdle for the St. Louis Cardinals to try to get around in the lineup. Kyle Schwarber has been a thorn in the entire National League side all year. I think he put up something close to 45 home runs. And you can't forget about their younger guys and like their infield, which I think they're more built better, not as streaky, in Bryson Stott, Gene Segura, and Alec Boehm, who I think they're going to rely on more towards the bottom of their order. All in all, this series is very, very interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this series too, especially because like you look at you would normally just say, oh yeah, Cardinals probably going to win this in 2 because the Phillies, they're very streaky and they can get shut down very quickly. A lot of their guys have lower batting averages, like under 250. And then you look at, and then considering the Cardinals lineup, I mean, they got Pujols, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Newt Barr, Brendan Donovan, Dylan Carlson, Tyler O'Neill, Yadi Molina, Tommy Edman. Like they have names.
Yeah.
But I do think you can't count the Phillies out here because, like you said, I mean, they have Harper back, who is batting 4th for them today. You got Schwarber, who bats for low average, but I mean, he's got an 830 OPS in the regular season.
Led the
he
Nationals
can hit
in home
bombs
at
any point in time. Nick Castellanos turned it around this season. He isn't doing that bad at all. The Phillies have a very underrated team, and their pitching, it's been really, really good.
Oh yeah, the wild card. Having it only be 3 games really benefits the Phillies more than any other team in the playoffs, honestly, because they're rolling out, I believe today, they're rolling out Zach Wheeler, tomorrow Aaron Nola, who it's 2 of the most reliable guys in this round.
Yeah, they're putting out pretty much their 3 best starters this series. They're putting out Wheeler today, who led the team in ERA. For starters, at least. And then you got Nola tomorrow, who is their 2nd best starter. And then you got Ranger Suarez, who's their 3rd best starter. So after Ranger Suarez, it gets a little iffy, which is why the Phillies aren't a powerhouse team, because they don't have that good of pitching. And they're, don't get me wrong, their bullpen certainly isn't the best thing in the world. Can't forget Noah Syndergaard's on that team, starter. I forget that a lot.
Really? Do you know that they also have Brandon Marsh?
They do. They do, but he'll be off the bench.
Yeah.
He had a good season too. At a 288. I like their team.
Wow.
I do. But then you look at the Cardinals, who they're giving it one last ride for Pujols. Shane Bieber comes off the mound in the top of the 8th with 2 outs, 99 pitches, gave up 1 run. What an outing. Anyway, you look at the Cardinals, who they got, the 3 veterans. Who they're trying to run it back for these veterans.
Feels like
Do you think that gives them some kind of power?
Oh, I can tell you right now that the nostalgia that all Cardinals fans are feeling, the entirety of the baseball world is feeling, seeing Yadi, Waino, and Pujols back in the playoffs, where anything is possible, as we've seen in years past, plenty of times. And these guys are proven winners who, with how good Pujols has been doing over the last 3-4 months, I mean, he's in the 2-hole today. Albert Pujols, 22 years later, is batting in the 2-hole for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ridiculous. I don't know if it's exactly 22 years. I think it's not.
I think he had the most home runs after August 15th in baseball, and that includes Aaron Judge. I mean, he's been on a tear. He batted .270 this year in 109 games played. That's good. He had a 900 OPS. He had 895 OPS, which is his best OPS in a very long time. So good for Pujols. Like I'm honestly very excited to see him play in another postseason game.
Oh yeah, I'm so riding with it, and it's even better that it is in St. Louis. I think that adds to the movie magic of it. You know, obviously nothing is scripted. It's sports, but I mean, if you can't not be romantic about baseball. Last postseason for Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina, and they get to kick it off in front of their home stadium that they've both always called home, no matter where they've been.
Yep.
It's exciting.
I agree. They won the Central, which good for them. I said it in the beginning of the season. I said whoever wins the Central is going to be the only team in the Central making the playoffs because I knew that other team in the Central was not getting in the playoffs, and I was right.
Yeah.
Not the Phillies. The Cardinals are throwing out Quintana today. Tomorrow they're throwing out Michaelis. And then should they have a Game 3, they haven't announced the starter yet. I'm trying to check.
I can imagine it would be Waino if he's on the roster.
It will probably be Waino as long as he's on the roster. Like I said, we aren't looking at the roster right now. Waino last pitched October 2nd, so by the time Sunday hits, it'll be October 9th. That's probably enough time. I guess they put out Waino.
Yeah, for 42-year-old Adam Wainwright, that should just be enough time.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you think's gonna happen in the series?
I'm a basic.
Can we go game by game? Who do you think's winning game 1?
The Cardinals.
Okay, I think the Phillies are gonna win today. No, I take it back. I think the Cardinals are gonna win today.
You are flipping flopping like a fish.
I think the Cardinals are gonna win today.
All right, and then who do you have winning game 2?
The Phillies.
Cardinals.
So you think the Cardinals are going to win 2-0?
I think Cardinals sweep it. The Phillies, like you said, are too streaky. Cardinals have very good pitching, and I think it's just, this sounds stupid, but it's very hit or miss with the Phillies, and with how good the pitching is on the Cardinals, I think it's just going to be a miss.
Okay. I can completely see why the Cardinals are picked. I think it's a really smart pick.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm picking the Phillies to win 2-1. I think they're going to win the last 2 games of the series.
Oh, really?
I do. I something about it, like I just had that, I just have a feeling that like the Phillies, first time making the playoffs since like 2011, I believe. Yes. They want to be there. They know what they have to do. They got Harper. They have the good mix of veterans and younger guys who like aren't veterans, but they're like somewhat like well versed.
And don't forget,
I like the Phillies' chances here.
For the Phillies, this is their revenge game. In 2011, the last time the Phillies were in the playoffs, to end the series in the NLDS, the Phillies played the Cardinals, and the last batter, Ryan Howard, chopper back to the pitcher. Ryan Howard running out to first base, tore his Achilles, and that was the downfall of the Philadelphia Phillies. And 11 years later, it gets to come full circle, and we might see them knock off the same team that sent them into despair. Is a great storyline.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love storylines. It's my favorite thing.
Storylines is the best part about sports.
Of course. That's the only part about sports.
Real.
Yeah.
Real. Whoever has the better storyline, the umps just kind of help them win.
I mean, that would be crazy. The Phillies knock them off. I mean, I think it's gonna happen. I have that feeling.
You can't even tell me that's not a great storyline, and I only know that it's such a big storyline to Philadelphia Phillies fans is because I keep seeing it all over social media.
I feel bad though. If the Cardinals get knocked out, I mean, like that's just so like. We made it all the way here. We won our division. We have Pujols, Yachty, Waino for one last year, and we lose to the Phillies. I think Cardinals fans are very confident going into the series. No, I could be wrong.
I am very confident in the Cardinals.
I could be wrong, but if I was a Cardinals fan, I'd feel fairly confident. I wouldn't get too confident because but like looking at the lineups, I mean, I would feel very confident.
I feel very confident for the Cardinals.
All right. So like you said, you got 2-0 Cardinals. I got 2-1 Phillies. Are we ready for the last series?
Let's do it.
The last series of the wild card round is the San Diego Padres, the 5th seed in the National League, taking on the Amazons, the New York Mets, who, how are they even in the wild card round is a tragedy for Mets fans.
Mets fans, I'm sorry.
It's insane. Who would have thought in the beginning of the season that the Mets... Not the beginning. Who would have thought come the All-Star break, who would have thought they would have been? Don't even lie. When they were 10.5 games up, I think most people probably said they're probably going to hang on. But then again,
Lo and behold,
Mets will Met.
100.
They both won 101 games, them and the Braves, but the Braves did win the season series. No more game 163. So, the no game 163 is something that, like, as a baseball fan, I hate. But, like, at the same time, if I'm a Braves fan right now, I'm like, I don't care. I'm glad there's no 163.
Wiping the sweat off my eyebrows and calling it a day.
It's like, yeah, if it benefits your team, obviously you're not going to hate it. It's like the same thing, what I feel like the shift is going to be next year. It's going to be like every time it takes away a hit from someone, you're going to be like, damn it. But every time it's going to be like a short blooper behind second base, and the second baseman is standing right there, like, it's going to feel really nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it, you know.
It's exciting.
As a baseball fan, I wanted to see game 163. That would have been so much fun.
As a baseball fan, 163 always sounds fun. However, you know,
whatever.
We got a better race in the
and now we're looking at Mets Padres. Season. Yeah. So the Mets obviously are an amazing team.
Yeah,
no one can deny that they are a fantastic team. They have DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, arguably the best top 3 pitchers in baseball, like on the same team. Then you look at the Padres. Who are they throwing out the series? Darvish, Snell, not Clevenger. Musgrove, probably, yeah. I think this series could legitimately go either way. But I feel like home field advantage will be very important for the series.
So, let it be known, by the way, that we were recording this on Friday, the Mets are going to be wearing their blacked out jerseys today for the Friday game, which is exciting, and I believe that means Saturday they're also going to wear their home alternate jerseys. Another exciting thing to just look forward to in Mets land. I mean, playoffs is always one thing, but having the alternate jerseys, I feel like just always adds to something, and it makes everything a lot more fun.
Well, yeah, of course. Whenever they're blacked out, it's
that's fun time. It's fun. And, I mean, the pitching matchup, we could not have asked for better. Darvish and Scherzer going game 1, more than likely DeGrom and Snell going game 2, and if there's a game 3, Bassett and Musgrove. That sounds great. Like Alex just said, I think that this series could go either way. It comes down to a coin flip in my mind. And the lineups, I mean, they're not out yet, but lineups are going to match up very well.
I was going to say, we have we know what the lineups are going to look like. You know, you're going to have McNeil.
Let's talk about the locks. Like, who
Alonso,
is guaranteed to start?
Lindor, Escobar, Canna, Nimmo, Vogelback, Nito, or McCann. I don't know who catches who. Guillorme. I think the 9 Mets that are going to be on the starting field today, including their DH. So not including their pitcher, obviously, because their pitcher's
Oh, are you guessing their lineup right now?
No, I'm just guessing who's going to be on the field tonight.
Okay.
Like in the starting lineup. Alonso, McNeil, Lindor, Escobar, Canna, Nimmo, Vogelback, Starling Marte, because he's back.
Oh, you think he's going to play?
Why?
I don't know if he's going to play today.
He is. I'm telling you right now, he's going to play today.
Okay.
You're going to have Nito probably catching. I don't know if there's a certain catcher that catches Scherzer most of the time, because I'm obviously not that involved in Mets, but I'd say probably I know Mets fans do not like James McCann.
Yeah, Mets fans' sake, I hope it's not
James all I know is that Mets fans hate James McCann. So, yeah, that's 9. Those are the 9, I think. I mean, it's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be so fun.
But at the same time, the Padres are like, they're also very streaky. And for some reason, with having such a good lineup that they do, they haven't been good.
Yeah.
They haven't been good at all. They finished 89 and 73. They didn't even hit 90 wins with Soto, Machado. Who else do they have? Cronenworth,
Josh Bell,
Josh Bell.
To the earth.
I mean, it's
my fault.
They just haven't played good, and it's very frustrating as a baseball fan, because when they got Soto and Bell, it was almost as if, like, wow, this team might catch up to the Dodgers. But it's been quite the out. They don't have Eric Hosmer anymore. That's got to be it. But yeah,
They don't have Luke Voigt anymore. No!
What's Josh Bell even batting anymore?
I know that he fell off the face of the earth when he went to San Diego.
Josh Bell. This can't be right.
What? What's the number?
With the Padres, he's batting 192. With the Nationals, he batted 301.
Oh, 301.
So this season he batted 266. Yeah, he did fall off the face of the earth, which
Scherzer,
sucks.
although the Padres this season only faced Scherzer one time, tagged him for 2 runs in 6 innings.
Not bad.
Can the Mets put up 3 runs?
Can the Mets put up 3 runs? That's a fantastic question.
Can the Mets put up 3 runs? The Mets are almost like the Rays in the American League, whereas like the Rays, they have guys who you wouldn't be surprised if they hit it over the fence, but the Rays and the Mets are 2 teams that will beat you with singles and doubles. Jeff McHitz.
Well, I'd argue the Mets more. I think we're making the Rays sound a lot better than they actually are because, yes, on paper they're very good, but I mean, just in general, they're not.
Yeah.
They have not been. They're not that guy, pal.
They're not that guy.
They're really not.
Are you that guy? Absolutely.
I want to find the exact line of the one start that Darvish had against the Mets this season. I'm looking for it right now because I know I've seen a lot of how Mets fans are deathly afraid of you, Darvish. Here we go. New York Mets on June 7th. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. He did do it on June 7th. So his first outing against the Mets this season was 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. He hit 3 batters. Jeez. And then on July 22nd, he threw 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts.
That July 22nd game was the same game that Scherzer played. That Scherzer pitched against the Padres.
Who won that game? The Padres won that game. 4-1. So,
4-1.
But then again, at the same time, it's like, this is playoff Max Scherzer.
Yeah, but this is also playoff Yu Darvish.
No, but like all seriousness, playoff Max Scherzer.
Yeah, playoff Max Scherzer.
He's got what? I think he has the 5th most strikeouts all time in the playoffs.
6th.
I think it's 5th.
It's 6th.
I think it's 5th.
It's 6th.
I think it's 5th.
How much money do you want to put on it?
I think it's 5th.
It's 6th.
I think it's 5th.
It's 6th.
I think it's 5th. I got a notification about it. So
it's 6th, though. Whatever. The Padres interest me because, like I just mentioned before, Josh Bell falling off the face of the earth when it comes to hitting. He's not nearly the same hitter that he was when he was on the Nationals organization. Same thing with Soto. However, he has kind of picked it up. Like, he's going into the playoffs at the right time. He is a little bit hotter. He is looking better and everything. So it's exciting to see him go in, hopefully do something that we never thought that we would see, is Juan Soto going up to bat against Max Scherzer. After that World Series run, I would have told you you're insane.
It was 6th.
Told you.
Yeah.
Who's right?
Me. Go on.
Wrong.
Go on. Go on.
But after the Nationals World Series run, I would have told you that you were insane if you told me that known Mets pitcher Max Scherzer was going to go up against the San Diego Padres Juan Soto. I would have called you nuts. And I'm just looking forward to it. This series is going to be fun. This series is going to be a lot of fun. In Citi Field, which plays a big part in everything. What are you doing?
Stretching.
Okay.
I do, but at the same, I'm gonna make a prediction now. Like you said it's gonna be close. I think the Mets are gonna win in 2. I really do. I mean, it would be a tragedy if you won 101 games and then lose in the wild card round because you lost a single game in a 3-game set at the end of the season. Because you didn't win a single game.
3 games.
Yeah, no, because they didn't win a single game in a most important series of the year. I just don't see it happening. I don't think they're gonna. I think this lineup has proven to be. The Mets lineup is more proven to be better against good pitchers than the Padres lineup has been, because the Padres lineup overall has been very lackluster compared to what they should be. They could really use a power hitting shortstop who can hit for average and good power and I mean, they don't really need
and plays
defense,
like above average
yeah,
defense
like
type
has,
thing.
has
With
dreads.
utility.
Yeah, I mean, they could really use a guy like that. It's really
If only there was someone like that playing in the league.
Hopefully
today.
next year they'll find someone like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe
so I have Mets in 2. Actually, yeah, I have Mets in 2. I can't go back again. Go on.
All right, I have the Padres in 3. I think the Padres stun the world. The Padres lineup is, I believe, 28th in baseball of batting average against fastballs, which is insane. Max Scherzer, known fastball pitcher. However,
I'm changing to 2-1 Mets. Go
his
on.
breaking stuff is it's there, but if he does miss a spot, he misses a spot bad, and the Padres can take advantage of that because they are a breaking ball hitting team. I think the Padres take it in 3. How do you like that, Matt?
Yeah, I like it. I can see it. Like I just changed mine to 2-1 Mets. Although I'm going 2-0 Mets.
2-0?
I feel like okay. 2-0 Mets. I feel like people are gonna. You could say it's a stupid pick because the Padres, how many games did they win against the Mets this season?
3. No, that's wrong.
Might be 4. I think they went 4-2 against the Mets this season.
I think they did go 4-2.
So like people could say it's kind of stupid because like they've had the Mets number.
Yeah, but the Padres have lost 2 games to the Mets. You just need to lose 2 games.
Right, but
You just
I
need
don't
to
know
lose
if they've
2
ever
games.
lost 2 games in a row. But yeah, no, I have a feeling that the Mets they're gonna win tonight, and then tomorrow it's just gonna be like shut down from DeGrom. They have Jacob DeGrom pitching in the playoffs. Like when was the last time that happened? 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
I mean, I see it in my head already. They win they walk off tonight.
Oh!
They walk off tonight.
You're calling a walk-off tonight?
They walk off tonight, and DeGrom shuts them down tomorrow.
You wouldn't pitch Bassett?
No.
Bold man.
I would probably pitch DeGrom. Even if it is Bassett. You know what? Even if it is Bassett. Bassett pitches to Bassett shuts them down. Whoever is pitching if the Mets are going to walk off game 1 and whoever pitches game 2 is going to shut them down. Shut the Padres down.
So the time is 2.
No, we don't have to say
24.
time. We don't have to say time. No one cares. I'm telling you. Mets walk off tonight. Either Bassett or DeGrom shuts down the Padres lineup. They sweep.
Book it.
Book it.
All right.
Should I explain my bet really quick that I placed? I think I already lost because Shane McClanahan.
Got pulled.
I bet a bunch of overs on starting pitcher strikeouts for the game. This is on Underdog Fantasy because I'm obviously not 21 yet, and you can bet at younger than 21 on here. Oh, they've both hit so far. So Max Scherzer more than 6 strikeouts, or 6 or more strikeouts. Shane McClanahan 4.5 or more strikeouts. He had 5. Luis Castillo 5.5, higher than 5.5 strikeouts. Shane Bieber higher than 5.5 strikeouts. He had 8. Yes. And Manoah 6 or more strikeouts. I think I'm very confident. I love strikeouts.
That's exciting.
That's why I picked it.
That's exciting.
And then the winner, obviously, of the Mets Padres goes to play the Dodgers, the best team in baseball. 111 wins. Good luck to whoever has to do that.
Talk about running into a
Whoever
brick
wins
wall.
that. I mean, I personally think one team has a better shot. But it is the Dodgers. They did win 111 games.
All right.
That should do it.
That's the playoff. That's the wild card preview. Woo! Baseball.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Baseball.
Yes, everyone have fun watching the wild card games. Jack, if you're watching this,
we're just gonna only talk.
Good luck to the Blue Jays.
Everyone, click off this. Jack, I'm sorry, your Blue Jays are gonna lose.
Hey, I bet it on his Blue Jays. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will see you after the wild card round. Everyone have fun watching. Just know all my picks are coming true, and especially that Mets one. And yeah, we'll see you next time.